Welcome to yet another episode of Success Principles by Successful Principles. For the ones who know me, my name is Kamalneet Singh. For the ones who don't know me, my name is still Kamalneet Singh. The name doesn't change, right? And I'm extremely happy about this episode. And I know that you as parents, you're very keen to get the best out of the episode. And some tips for you to get the best out of the episode. You might want to have a pen and a paper and probably jot down some ideas that you would want to later put into use. And you know what? One of the reasons that we do the series is that I often say that right across the world we have everything right from manufacturing a pin to manufacturing a plane. And the moment it comes to parenting, there is a lot of hit and trial that we do. Well, there is nothing wrong with the experiments, but then sometimes they go in a very different direction and can be damaging. And that's why I decided that why don't we bring educators from around the globe and have their wisdom, which is available to their institutions, now be also available to people at large. And parenting I feel in my the way I see this is that parenting is a superpower. And I look at every parent. If you are a father, I look at you as a superman. Now you might have a smile on your face. If you are a mother, I look at you as a superwoman. And I see parenting as your superpower. And the reason we do this is so that you can probably hone your superpowers so that you can give your best to your child and make a real difference in their lives. So let's dive in. I know that you all are waiting to hear from Veena Madam, the principal of prestigious Apeejay School Pitampura, with us. Somebody who is a collaborator at heart, believes in collaborating with teachers, parents, and kids, and believes that, and that she swears by the principle that teamwork makes the dream work. Somebody who has an experience of almost 3 decades. Now that's a lot of experience that you hold, and believes that happiness is something that we are responsible for it on our own, and it's not dependent on somebody else. Now, a sound academician, she did her BSc and MSc from a top-notch Delhi University College, Miranda House, and then further did her B.Ed from CIE from Delhi University. Somebody who feels that upgrading oneself is as important as oxygen to our life, and she keeps participating in different seminars on different in different domains. Now, well, she's a with 3 decades of experience. Well, she's a master of her domain, the master of fun, but she's also a jack of a lot of other things. Now, on personal front, she's a keen fitness enthusiast. She's an avid reader, and she loves to write, and a passionate writer. She has an appreciation for classical music, especially the English songs, and loves to listen to music and travel. When I talk about the awards, now that is something that she's sitting on a bag full of awards. And to name a few, she's the list is actually endless, so probably I'll name a few for you. uh, Teachers Excellence Award, September 2013 by Lions Club. She's also the recipient of the ISA Coordinators Award, January 2013 by British Council. CBSE Teachers Excellence Award, CBSE 2016. Fulbright Distinguished Awards in Teaching Program. International Eminence Educationists Forum of India. Create Change Leaders Award 2019, Inspiring Educator Award 2019. As I said, the list is endless. But you know what? She's somebody who is very calm and composed, and actually swears by a certain quote, and feels it intensely, which is education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. That's what she believes. And Madam, thank you once again for your time to be on this episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Pleasure. So, Madam, we were talking about, parents. You and I, you deal with thousands of parents. I get to deal with them. I get to interact with them. Parents and the parents out there, you got to keep a very close watch of what I'm going to say now. Now, Madam, all these parents, and majority of them, they have this thing कि हमारे बच्चे ना successful बन जाए, they कैसे भी करके, कोई जादू ही हो जाए. Our kids should become successful and good human beings. That's their primary desire. Now, you see a lot of them, you meet a lot of them. I want to ask you that in your understanding, what really makes a child successful in the real life, and all the parents out there, you really got to watch and keep your eyes and ears open so that you can get the best out of it.
Actually, success, as you define for a parent, I think somewhere the parent is lost in zeroing on what success is to him for his child. When the child is growing up, the first smile, first contact of recognition, first baby step, first tooth, everything they get elated about it, right? But it's a sad state that the moment the child comes to the school, you have your pattern. Okay, my child has to be an A grader. My child has to be doing so very well. Okay, best essay, best in math, best in this. And right from class kindergarten, you watch the students with their backpacks running to the coaching centers. I think we need to come out of it. Each child is different. Acknowledge that difference and revel in it. Identify. I always tell my teachers, I always talk to my friends, and every child is different, and nobody knows the child better than their own parents. If you say, okay, the school, how is the you we have those fancy PTMs where there is a child and parent and teacher interaction discussing the child. The child is with us for only limited hours, but the child is with you for three times that many hours. So I think it is important for you to identify that child, giving strong values to the child, making the child a happy child, enjoying it, enjoying himself every day. Every day has to be enjoyed by the child, which is not happening. I had a 8-year-old niece with me here, and if the parent is all the time saying ab thodi math kar lo, ab thodi English kar lo, ab thodi ye kar lo, I mean, the time is not running away. It's a vacation time. It's okay if she's come visiting somewhere, let the child be, enjoy a game of carom, enjoy a game of ludo also. Let the child enjoy being happy, standing and helping in some cooking, dishing out some recipe. It's okay. So I think all in all, the child has to have a very balanced personality, grow up with sound value system, have know the values like gratitude, sharing, caring, and helping each other, humility, respect. If you've given this to the child, and the child is a pleasure to be with, and the child will be very happy doing his other work also. He's sorry, I don't want to be gender biased, but it just happens. So the child will be a very happy child. Our focus, Indian education system, has always been on IQs, but today we all know that it is EQs and IQs which are equally important. And now, with pandemic and everything, adversity quotient is also one of them. So if the child can traverse through a difficult time with ease and comfort, I think he is going to be a very balanced human being in days to come.
I think that's a very very that's a point well made. And in fact, all the parents out there, I know that you might have had a tough time. Ki points बहुत सारे हैं, लिखें कैसे, and I'm sure you would have made your notes out there. But I love when you said that if a child can traverse through the tough times with ease and comfort, and that makes a huge difference. And I'm going to back to the early points that you said. मैं देखता हूँ मेरे बादाम कितने चल रहे हैं, but what I recall is that you did mention about the fact that for a child to be successful, if they can have the right values at an early age, if they can have an attitude of gratitude, if they have an overall personality, and if there's somebody who learn the basic things, and at the same time you made a very very crucial point that if the child can be prepared to be happy, I think that's seen as success. And जो नंबरों की बात है, वो तो जितने पेरेंट्स आप सुन रहे हो, देखो मैडम इज एक्सट्रीमली पोलाइट, बट मैं आपको एक बात बता दूं कि ये डांट आपको पड़ रही है कि आप नंबरों के पीछे अगर इतना, दे आर इम्पोर्टेंट, नॉट टू से दे आर नॉट, लेकिन if you only run after numbers, uh, only is the word. If you only run after numbers, then it's not going to be, it's not going to give you the results that you want. So you picked up a few pointers here, madam. Very well made points, and I'm glad you also connected with that, the ludo and the carom. It takes back into our own journey of life, and when we were younger, I'm still young, we're still young. so you had I was sharing with the parents, and have been in talks with you. You've had a massive journey, right? And you started at a certain place, you worked your way around, and then you moved up and up and up, and today you are leading a very prestigious school uh, now. And I know that it doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen by chance. It takes something. So I'm diving into your personal success mantra, and wanted to know from you that whatever made you successful, and what are some mantras that went into it. And I also have a request to make. Don't say that कि नहीं मैं नहीं हूँ, so we will not buy that.
No, I will not say that. But when I was growing up, I was doing my B.Ed, and I started my journey as a teacher. It was never there that, okay, I'll be a school leader or something, because I was not working towards it. I was working towards being a good teacher, being connecting to my children. And every day I would come back that aaj to maza aa gaya. I really enjoyed myself. And every lesson, when it would go early, when you begin with your any profession, I'm sure it's true for anything, you're very scared that you're okay. I began teaching the class 11s and 12s right away after my study education.
That can be
So
scary, isn't it?
it is, and in a co-ed school it could be, because I am a product of girls school all in all. So girls school, girls college everywhere, so it was, and I would be very scared. And then by and by, you develop that art, because you said to yourself, yes, I can do it, and I am going to connect to my children, and I'm going to enjoy. So every time I would do it, I would feel, I would introspect, reflect. And I think my father was a person who would, be my, I could talk to him about anything, and he would egg me on, okay, yes, this is the way to do it. So I think that was it. And I continued my work with commitment, with zeal, with passion. And I would say only these three things became my mantra for whatever I am today. So anything you do it because it gives you happiness and it gives you joy and you're passionate about it. So success will follow automatically. That, yeah, yeah.
That reminds me of a dialogue from that movie. I think it's Three Idiots, if I'm not mistaken. That आप अपने आप, not sure of the exact words, but I think the gist was कि आप अगर अपने आप पे काम करो और दिल लगा के काम करो, तो कामयाबी झक मार के पीछे आती है. And I think you had put it in a great way that if you're passionate about what you do, and if you put in the zeal, if you have that zeal. And I love the part when you said that, if you have a goal, that whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it happily, and I'm going to derive happiness out of it. I think that I see is a very powerful mantra out there. So all the parents out there, देखो आपने कहीं पे भी नहीं सुना होगा कि she said कि अगर आप अच्छे नंबर लेके आओगे, and ये मेरे बहुत अच्छे नंबर आए. So I know I'm just joking also. I'm keeping this on a lighter note so that I don't want you to feel कि नहीं सारी बात जो है numbers के आसपास होनी चाहिए. But at the same time, so zeal, commitment, passion, and deriving happiness, and probably doing something that you do. I picked up another point from what you said. So all the parents out there, this is crucial. When you said that my goal when I would go into a class was that I want to enjoy, I want to connect with my kids, and I want to eventually come back happy. So if you go with that context, I think that really makes a difference. So parents out there, आपके लिए assignment है. So while you are dealing with your kids, while you are spending a lot of time with them, in fact, now more than ever, itna time to kabhi aapne spend nahi kiya, but then given the situation we are in, you as parents are spending way more time than you used to, given the circumstances. So what are your goals in those interactions? I think if you can get that in place, that will make a lot of difference. So now we're talking to the parents about what can they do. So if I have to ask you your top three ideas, to help parents make the whole process of this parenting journey a beautiful one, what would be your top three ideas?
Mm, let me start with one of my favorite poem by Khalil Gibran, which goes like, your children are not your children. They are sons and daughters for life's longing for itself. You may love them, but not you may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for their thoughts are their own. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, because their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. So I am a firm believer of that. And I have been telling since a long time to all the parents I meet, I mean, depending on what we are talking about, I find so many parents living their own dreams through their children. हम ये नहीं कर सके तो we want our children to do it. हम ये नहीं पा सके तो ये बच्चे को करना है. I couldn't attend any dance classes. My child has to definitely go for dance. I could not be sent for music classes, so I must do it. Or my colleague's child is learning piano, so my child will also do it. Or my child will also do maths level A, higher mathematics with such and such tutor, because my best friend's child is doing it. So I must push the child for these unthinkables. It's quite possible that the child might be very happy doing it, but first thing you recognize that your child is not into it, the child is not happy. A parent always knows, don't push your child, and recognize the potential of your child, that this is what the child is good at, this is what the child is doing. I'll tell you an example of one of my student. I taught her science in 11th and 12th, and she was good at studies, and went on to do chemical engineering, was working with HCL. And after a few years, she came back to me, and so I said, yes, I came to know that she was working with HCL. So I said, so how are you? So she said, ma'am, I'm very fine. So she said, I have quit my job. I said, what? She said, I was good at studies, so science happened. I was good at science, so engineering happened. And I got placed in HCL. I was working there, but I hated it, to be relating to a machine day in and day out. I said, what are you doing now? She said, my parents are mad at me, but I just came to share it with you. Do you think I've done the right thing? I love baking. I have enrolled myself into ABC school, which was supposed to be a renowned school for baking. And I am being placed at Imperial, one of the good hotels. And I know it's tough job, but I love it. So, sometimes you get pushed into something which you may never have desired, because ye karna hai. After 10th science ho gaya, because you got the right percentage. We never sat with the children, never gave it a thought that what would the child want to do. And then, that boredom sets in, or that frustration sets in, that of course you're in the wrong profession. Why did you do it at all? So something like that. Recognize, when is it that your child wants to play? What is it your child wants me time? Your child wants to read, or what, something like this. And children are big monkeys, right? And they ape everything what the parent does. So be role models for your children. I would say it's very, very important to be role models. And as we
I
say,
love the monkeys thing.
they say little, always remember little pictures have big ears, even when they're toddlers and age 3, 4. You may think they're not listening, but they're very alert to what you're saying. So if you're critical about the anybody, be it school, be it home, be it relatives, be it friends, the child is listening. The child is listening, and don't think that superficially the child will have all the respect and love for the other when you are the ones who are depriving the child of that. So be very, very conscious. You have a bodyguard at home. With your child being there at home, the child is behaving like your bodyguard. So it's very important to remember that you do what you expect your child to do.
I think that
If you're reading, don't just keep buying books. You read with the children.
That I think makes a lot of difference. I think, so you're saying something.
Yeah. And another thing which I've noticed, of course, now we have from 2 children family, we've come down to 1 child family also. And we think, okay, this is the most precious gift that I have. I have to protect the child. I have to do everything. So there are 2 things which the parents are doing. Helicopter parenting or snowplow parenting. When I say helicopter parenting, wherever the child is going, they are like policemen watching over the child. Let the child be. It's okay. And slow plowing, when I say that, removing
so what
all
is
the
term?
obstacles.
I like these terminology, the helicopter, and which is the second one you just mentioned?
Snow plowing.
Snow plowing.
Snow
Snow plowing. Okay.
Removing all the
Yes.
obstacles from the child's way, so the child has a smooth run to whatever the child is doing. ठीक है, थोड़ी ठोकर खाएगा, गिरेगा, उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? But the child, if learns from his or her own mistakes, I think there's so much more learning. आप सब कुछ हटा दो. जब सब कुछ easy था, तो you will not remember that. Only difficult times, how the child should also feel good. In spite of this, I could do it. I could manage on my own. If mommy and daddy have to do everything, यहाँ मत जाओ, यहाँ पे कांटे हैं, यहाँ गिर जाओगे, यहाँ पे शटलकॉक फंस जाएगी, यहाँ पे खेलोगे, यहाँ ये करोगे, फिर नहीं होगा. So let the children be. Let them dirty their hands. Let them have all the fun. Be connected to nature. Be connected to people. Just enjoy themselves.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And in fact, I was smiling, thinking that how parents go around and say, "Hi, mera bacha," lagna chahe. And you had really put it in a great way. So what I could also hear from what you said, that if you raise soft kids, and if you raise soft kids, they might have a hard time when they grow up, and but when you raise tough kids, and I think they might have a soft time when they kind of grow up. That's one. And then I loved what you said about do not all the parents out there, फिर से देखो डांट पड़ने वाली है बाप को, so do not try to fulfill your unfulfilled dreams through your kids. They are not machines to probably give you an output that you could not have it for yourself. And देखो मैं नहीं बोल रहा तो मेरे से नाराज नहीं होना, मैडम ने बोला. So that's that. And then another thing that you also said was very, very when you said those lines, that they kind of stayed with me when you were giving that example of your student who said that madam, marks happened, so science happened, so engineering happened, so then HCL happened, and then eventually she did not like. I remember you used the word that she said that she hated the work. Now all the parents out there, I think it's time to reflect and actually see that are we really going by the neighbor syndrome? And sometimes I laugh around and I also say कि जो शर्मा जी के बच्चे हैं ना, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा किया. तो ना आपको भी यही करना है, बिकॉज शर्मा जी का बच्चा इंजीनियर बन गया है या लॉयर बन गया है. And I sometimes wonder that how come Sharma ji's DNA is so wonderful कि उनके बच्चे बहुत बढ़िया करते हैं. So all the Sharmajis out there, it's just to keep it light and no personal labeling out there, but then just to help you see कि हम कई बारी अपने पड़ोसी या अपने colleagues या अपने neighbors के बच्चों को देख के we also kind of push our kids in that direction. And देखो ये भी मैं नहीं बोल रहा, ये भी मैडम ने बोला. I'm just supporting the thought. And you said you said something about helping kids to figure out their passion and maybe then create a profession out of it. So all the parents out there, it's time to probably roll up your sleeves.
We need to realize that jobs which are existing today, 10 years down the line, they may not exist at all. So we need to be preparing them for adapting themselves. So it's not about just the content of the textbook the child has to remember.
Right.
The child has to learn to be adaptive.
Correct. No, very powerfully said. In fact, I was, exactly what you said. I was reading this a couple of days back. There is some survey by World Economic Forum that about some 50-60% of the jobs that exist today would no longer exist, 10 years down the line. And it can be scary. The very thought of it can be scary. But instead of, probably getting scared, what can be done is, as Madam said, that we can help our kids now to be really prepared for times to come. And I think this is the need of the hour. And speaking about kids going into uncertain times, see, this is the truth. I'm sure you would agree that we are in uncertain times, and uncertainty is not going down. Doesn't look like it might even further increase. So बच्चे क्या चीजें सीखें, कौन से skills सीखें, what should they acquire at an early age, which will give them a certain edge when they go out in the real world. Now, what's your take on that?
See, as I just said, the child has to be ready to adopt and adapt, respond and be responsive. So these are two very, very critical things that the child has to remember, has to be taught to learn. And of course, the others, problem solving, critical thinking, assimilation and of information, analytical skills, comprehension, all those things, all those skills are, of course, there. But most important, I still feel that he has to learn to adapt, learn to adopt, respond to a change, and be responsive to it. Today, you see people around you, you see doctors, you see good professionals who are coming out of their houses and responding to this pandemic by helping out in their own way. They have no CSR hanging on their head. They're doing it because it's coming from within. So it's very important for the children to get these soft skills. Very important for them to, again, coming down to my first answer, to have these set of values. When I say skills, these are those soft skills: to have the right attitude, to be empathetic towards others, to be perhaps a positive thinker, to share and care. All those things are there. And the right attitude, right approach, respond to times, adapt with times, these are the things which the children should have. I think it will take them far, far in life.
That's powerful. And you know what? I didn't hear you talking about marks, by the way. So parents out there, there's a message, right? There's a message in there, and I know that you're smart enough to catch that. And so just to I keep checking my Almond's efficiency. So you spoke about soft skills, you spoke about problem solving, you spoke about comprehension, you spoke about the right mindset, you spoke about adopt and adapt, you spoke about responding and being responsible. And it feels good when I see that the almonds are working, by the way. and I can get the answers. So I think parents out there, if I really don't know that, do you even think on these terms? And if you don't, then you're at the right place at the right time. These are the things that you have to start thinking about now, because the time is now. And they say that by about 15, 16, roughly around that time, majority, about 70-80% of a child's overall, thinking process is made, and then to undo that can be challenging. So maybe now is the time. Madam, you spoke about all these skills, and I'm intrigued. Because the title of the show is Success Principles by Successful Principals. So I would want to know success. What would success mean to you as a school leader? How do people define success in different ways. Somebody talks about money, somebody talks about fame, somebody talks about the shiny objects in terms of materialistic possessions. While all of that is in place, what would be your definition of success? What does it mean to you? I'm really intrigued by that.
See, I would say happy staff, happy children make a happy school.
Okay.
So I think the very fact that we get mails, we get messages from our students that they want to come back to school. So we would be having something for them that they would want to come to school. So I would say children give us so much joy, and our teachers are so very connected to the children all the time. And now with online mode operational for more than 1 year now, I think the hours do not matter. Whether it is in the morning, whether it is in the afternoon, teachers are available to the students anytime for anything, whether it is work related or whether they just want to talk and pour their hearts out. So teachers are available to them. So I feel that the success when I get lovely messages or a thank you note from my child or my parents, a mail from my parent,
Right.
that ma'am, we really love the way you and your team are connecting to our children, and your empathy, and your in time of duress, you are helping out our children, and we really like it. I feel it's a success story.
It
So
indeed is.
yeah,
I like when you said, so happy teachers make happy kids, and happy kids make a happy school. So I think
absolutely.
similarly, parents out there. So happy parents make happy kids, and and a happy environment inside the house would probably help these kids to turn out into successful kids. One last, dissecting success a little bit more. So this I understood that this is success from a school leader's lens. At a very personal level, at your level, how would you see success at a very personal level? What would that be? Your definition of success?
My definition of success pertaining to school or for
In
myself?
general, for yourself, for yourself. So
If I get,
I can probably give an example out there. So for me to look at, for me, the way I define success is that it has to be a combination of, good health, good relationships, contribution. The work should make a difference, and you're able to, spend time doing things that you would want to. So that's how I would look at it at a personal level. But I see that different people have different definitions. So I was intrigued to know yours.
see, I believe time management, if you have, that is, I did not say it in your question, which was pertaining to that what are the three quality or four qualities which make you successful or reach where you are today. But time management for every individual is the most important thing. And if you can manage that, you just said, whether you do something for yourself. I read a lot. I like listening to music, and I like to do certain fitness programs. I do all of that. So I can manage my school. I connect to my staff every day, and I feel if your time is well managed, that is it. And if I get a good night's sleep, then all is well.
All is well.
Then all is well.
So the person
Yeah,
who goes to the bed and sleeps well, I
yeah.
think all is well. So I think parents out there, that's a good one to pick up. And बच्चों को डंडे मार के नहीं सुलाना. I know that their routines are disturbed, and so I think that's a good one. And one final, I wanted to know that the school has, you know, the school has really picked up a great name in the school fraternity. A lot of laurels, and you're being spoken highly about what is being done under your leadership. So maybe a practice or two that school follows to help kids be ready for the real life.
I would say that we have a very good management under the umbrella of APJ Education Society, led by a very dynamic leader, Mrs. Sushma Paul Burlier, who keeps us motivated to give our best. So I think, and of course, our mentors in the institution, we are guided to give our best. So our classrooms, they say holistic education and this and that. Every school, it's a very much spoken about word, holistic education, and very cliche term now. And without knowing the meaning of it, we just keep doing it. So I would say yes, in the true sense, we touch the head, heart, and the hand, all three H, right? And our classrooms, we do not follow the pedagogy of the book and the pen all the time. Our classrooms are not only child centric classrooms, but they are the children led classrooms. So they work in a very collaborative atmosphere and work in a team, and the teacher happens to be part of the team,
Mhm.
right? So I would say here our teachers are not like sage on the stage, but guide by the side. So that is what they do. So everything, we of course we have our curriculum, of course, apart from the books, apart from the textbooks, etc. We have whole lot of activities, and these all are crafted, planned by students with teachers, and the entire activity planner, their implementation, everything is done by the students, and there's a whole lot of learning happening in that. So I think that is what sets us apart. And of course, the smiling faces of our alumni and their success, uh, they tell their own story. So that is it. We believe in doing our work, our karma, and leave everything to the Lord.
That's a great answer. I picked up the three key messages when you spoke about we work on the head, and we work on the heart, and of course the combination of head, heart, and hand, and beautifully put. And I see that the institution has really gained a lot of reputation, and there is a lot that has gone behind into this, because it doesn't happen overnight. A lot of work goes inside. And lucky all the kids and parents who are a part of the institution out there, and you get to see the best of all sides being available to you. So I really wanted to thank you for taking out your time and being a part of this conversation. In fact, all the parents out there, I'm sure you would have made all your notes. Now it's time to deploy, it's time to implement these messages into the real life, so that you can make a real difference in the kids, in your life and the life of your kids. So thank you. Anything that you would wanted to say?
Thank you so much, Kamalneet. It was a pleasure to be on your program and to talk to you. And it was so natural. I mean, you were so young and you're doing something like this. I wish you all the very best. As I said, that yes, this is the purpose of education. That I'm sure you have your own story, and you realized, okay, this is your forte, and this is the way you have to progress. So all the very best to you in whatever you do, and God bless you.